In Venezuela, the earth feels unfinished. Ancient mountains float in clouds. Rivers fall from the sky, and entire ecosystems live on isolated plateaus untouched by time. This isn't just a country. It's a place where geography writes poetry. And every wonder feels like it was formed for awe. From towering tepuis of Grand Sabana to the glowing waters of bioluminescent bays, Venezuela holds some of the oldest, strangest, and most cinematic natural landscapes on Earth. Its terrain is carved by time, sculpted by water, and lifted toward the sky by forces still at work beneath the surface. Here, you'll find Angel Falls, the tallest waterfall on the planet. But you'll also find rivers of lightning, caves older than language, and islands where coral and rainforest meet in quiet symmetry. This isn't about what's famous, it's about what still feels wild. Places that remind us the Earth isn't done surprising us. If you're drawn to the raw, the unreal, and the undiscovered, subscribe to Era Trails and step deeper into the extraordinary. In the southeastern corner of Venezuela, where three countries meet, a massive stone monolith rises straight out of the jungle. Flat-topped, mist-wrapped, and older than the Amazon itself. This is Mount Roraima, the most iconic of Venezuela's tepuis, and the mountain that inspired Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's The Lost World. Towering over 9,000 feet, Roraima's summit is a surreal landscape of quartz towers, rock labyrinths, and black stone valleys. It's a place where it rains every day, where water drains off the cliffs in endless streams, and where entire ecosystems have evolved in isolation for millions of years. From the base, the cliffs seem impassable. From the top, the clouds drift below you. No roads, no cables, no towns, only trail, jungle, and sky. To reach it is to walk into another world. To stand on top of Roraima is to stand outside of time. Hidden deep in Canaima National Park, pouring off the edge of the massive Kukenán-tepui, is the tallest waterfall in the world, Angel Falls, or Kukenán-tepui Meru, as it's known by the Pemen people. The drop is almost unfathomable 3,212 feet from top to base, with a single uninterrupted plunge of over 2,600 feet. The water falls so far that it turns to mist before it ever hits the ground. In the early morning, it vanishes into the clouds. By midday, it reappears as a silver thread descending into jungle. There are no cities here. Reaching Angel Falls requires air, boat, and foot, but the reward is otherworldly. The sound of water falling from the sky, the green sea of rainforest below, and the silent wall of stone behind it all. Angel Falls isn't just a record breaker. It's a reminder that the Earth still holds places where gravity loses its grip and wonder becomes vertical. Just west of Mount Roraima, rising from the same ancient tabletop highlands, stands Kukenán-tepui, taller, darker, and far more mysterious. Locals call it Matawi, and unlike its neighbor, it remains largely untouched. Sacred to the Pemon people, it's a place of spirit and silence. A peak best observed, not conquered. Its summit stretches over 3 kilometers, and its vertical walls rise abruptly from the jungle below, sheer, streaked with waterfalls, and almost never climbed. In the wet season, its cliffs become veined with dozens of ephemeral falls, including Kukenán Falls, the second highest in Venezuela, cascading nearly 2,200 feet. Unlike Roraima, few have stood on its summit. There are no marked trails, no base camps, only cloud, stone, and myth. From the grand savanna floor, it looms like a fortress built before language, draped in mist and memories older than time. To see Kukenán is to feel the gravity of Earth's past. It is majestic, untouched, and unknowable, a true island in the sky, floating just out of reach. Tucked deep in the Grand Savanna, where the oldest rocks on Earth's surface beneath rainforest and sky, there flows a stream unlike any other. Quebrada de Jasp, or Jasper Creek, is a shallow river that runs not over gravel or silt, but across a polished bed of blood-red jasper stone, glowing like liquid fire. The water here is crystal clear, no deeper than a foot in most places. Beneath it lies a seamless sheet of semi-precious stone, sculpted by eons of erosion and pressure into a natural mosaic. Reds, oranges, and flecks of gold and black catch the light as if the river itself were smoldering. This isn't a place of roar or altitude. It's a place of color, calm, and stillness. No bridge crosses it. No signs line its banks. Just jungle, stone, and water, and a sense that you've stepped inside a geode carved by time. To walk barefoot in Jasper Creek is to feel the pulse of the ancient Guayana shield beneath you. Rock older than the Andes, smoother than glass, and alive with light. It's a hidden treasure, not because it's unknown, but because it looks like it was never meant to be real. Before Angel Falls plunges into the rainforest, its journey begins here, at the golden heart of Canaima National Park, where Canaima Lagoon stretches wide beneath the gaze of towering tepuis. Encircled by palm trees, sheer cliffs, and no fewer than 5 waterfalls, it's a place where water, light, and stone are in constant motion. The lagoon's still surface reflects the surrounding walls of Ollantaytambo. Even as rivers crash down from the highlands into it, El Hacha, Golondrina, Wadaima, Ucayma, and Sapo, each cascading in continuous white arcs like the ribbons of a skyborne drum. What makes this place unforgettable isn't just the view, it's the experience. One of the waterfalls, El Sapo, allows visitors to walk behind its veil of water, where wind and mist blur the senses and the world becomes liquid thunder. The air here smells of rain and river, the sounds are endless, and the lagoon itself, bronze in some light, glass-like in others, feels like the center of something ancient and unspoken. Canaima Lagoon is not a beginning or an end. It's a gathering, a sacred bowl of stone and water, where the rivers of Venezuela collect before they leap into legend. Love the journey so far? There's so much more ahead. Subscribe to Era Trails now and follow the rivers, cliffs, and skies of Earth's most cinematic corners. Where Venezuela's greatest river meets the Caribbean Sea, the land breaks apart, not with cliffs, but with water. Here lies the Orinoco Delta, a vast, ever-shifting maze of channels, flooded forests, and mirror-still lagoons, where river and rainforest become one. Unlike other deltas that narrow and end, the Orinoco explodes. Spanning over 22,000 square kilometers, it spreads into a labyrinth of silt, mangrove, and silence. The trees rise from waterlogged roots. Villages float on stilts. Dolphins, caimans, macaws, and manatees glide through the same current. At sunrise, the delta is all reflection. Sky in the water, water in the air, and the soft hush of paddles moving between the trunks. In the dry season, the waterways glow gold beneath the forest. In the wet season, the land disappears almost entirely. This isn't just the mouth of a river, it's the lungs of a continent. A place where time slows and life, light, and water tangle into something sacred. The Orinoco Delta doesn't roar, it listens, and when you drift through it, you're not traveling forward, you're dissolving into the current. After the dense rainforests and stone plateaus of the south, Venezuela opens into something vast. The Llanos, or plains, stretch across the central heart of the country. A sea of grass, river, and sky that floods in one season and burns in the next. This immense landscape is shaped by the Orinoco River and its many tributaries, which rise and spill each year, turning savannas into shimmering wetlands. In the rainy season, the land becomes an inland ocean. In the dry season, it becomes a golden savanna, crackling beneath thunderclouds. The Llanos hold one of the highest concentrations of wildlife in South America. Anacondas slither through reeds, capybaras graze in herds, and scarlet ibises rise like fire from the marshes. You may spot caimans, river dolphins, or even a jaguar silently moving through gallery forests. It is a land of motion and stillness, of thunder in the sky and glass on the water. And when the sun sets over the flat horizon, the world turns to firelight and silence, stretching in all directions. The Llanos are not just a habitat. They are a living rhythm between flood and flame, stillness and sound. Place where earth breathes wide. As the plains end, the earth begins to fold. The Sierra Nevada de Mérida, part of Venezuela's Andean range, rises like a broken wave from the valley floor. Its peaks snow-dusted, its slopes carved by wind, water, and time. Here, everything changes. The humidity thickens into mist. The grass becomes forest. And above it all, Pico Bolivar, Venezuela's tallest mountain, pierces the clouds at over 16,000 feet. Around it lie glacial lakes, paramo meadows, and forests filled with orchids, moss, and rare birds. This is a land of vertical contrasts. Deep canyons like Chama and Machetes, high-altitude lakes that shimmer between granite ridges, and ancient Inca trails now hidden beneath fog. The air is crisp, the light moves fast, and the silence feels earned. For centuries, this region has been both frontier and sanctuary. A place where cultures, climates, and continents collide. And to stand here, among the mist and stone, is to witness how Earth can rise into mystery. At over 11,000 feet above sea level, in the high paramos of Mérida State, there lies a still, silver lake that seems to listen more than it speaks. This is Laguna de Mucubají, formed long ago by retreating glaciers and now wrapped in a quiet that feels holy. Surrounding the lake is a rare alpine tundra, the paramo, a cold, windswept ecosystem filled with frail jones, surreal flowering plants that resemble sentinels watching the fog. The air is thin, the wind constant, and the weather changes by the hour, from sun-drenched ridges to sudden veils of cloud that roll in without sound. Trails from the lagoon lead into other hidden wonders. Laguna Negra, darker and deeper, and Andean forests where the clouds drip from moss-covered branches. The entire region feels untouched, not because it's remote, but because it's spiritually guarded by elevation, weather, and time. At Mucubají, you don't just witness nature, you wait with it. And in the stillness, you understand why some landscapes were carved to be mirrors, not for us, but for the sky itself. If this journey is drawing you in, subscribe to Era Trails and follow the mountains, rivers, and mysteries of our planet's wildest edges. There's more ahead, and the next chapter is rising fast. Along Venezuela's northeastern coast, where the Andes dissolve into coral and jungle, lies a marine sanctuary carved by time and tide, Mochima National Park. A place where the Caribbean Sea glows turquoise, fishing villages cling to green hills, and islands float like emeralds on the horizon. Stretching across land and ocean, Mochima is a collision of two worlds: coastal rainforest slopes, rich with orchids and parrots, and a submerged wonderland of coral reefs, sea turtles, and schools of bright tropical fish. In one frame, you see cliffs, cloud, and reef, all stacked in harmony. The islands are small, uninhabited, and steeped in silence. The beaches, Playa Blanca, Las Maritas, Isla Caracas, are accessible only by boat, and the sea itself shifts from aquamarine to navy depending on the sky. Mochima isn't just beautiful, it's layered, a living mosaic of land and sea, held together by salt, sun, and seclusion. And when the boats glide through mangrove-fringed inlets at dusk, it feels like the Caribbean is exhaling. Along Venezuela's western Caribbean coast, just off the mainland in Falcon State, Morrocoy National Park sprawls across a mosaic of turquoise sea, mangrove forest, coral reef, and ivory sand cay. This is the Caribbean untangled, a chain of small islands and hidden inlets that glow beneath the sun and sea breeze. The park contains over 20 offshore islets, known as cayos, where you'll find shallow lagoons shimmering in pastel blues, protected coral gardens, and beaches so bright they look painted. Cayo Sombrero, Cayo Borracho, Playa Mero, Each feels like its own quiet world. Below the surface lies a marine wonderland. Parrotfish weave through soft coral, stingrays rest on the sea floor, and turtles glide between seagrass beds. Above, flocks of flamingos and herons drift through the mangrove estuaries. But it's not just scenery, it's silence. No city noise, no mountain echo, just the whisper of waves through mangroves, and the slow pulse of tides shaping reef and shore alike. Morrocoy is not a destination. It's a living reef of time and tide, still moving, still healing. In the eastern foothills of Venezuela's coastal mountains, where jungle clings to limestone and the air grows suddenly cool, lies Cueva del Guácharo, a vast and ancient cavern that hums with wings, echoes, and time. Carved into the limestone cliffs of Mochima State, the cave stretches nearly 11 kilometers, with towering halls, underground rivers, and mineral formations shaped by millions of slow, dripping years. It's named for its most famous resident, the guacharo or oilbird, a nocturnal, cave-dwelling bird that navigates by echolocation, like a feathered bat. As dusk falls, thousands of them burst from the mouth of the cave in a synchronized, swirling exodus. A sound like wind tearing through velvet, their wings slicing through the fading light. Inside, the chambers deepen, revealing massive stalagmites, eerily smooth walls, and shadows that stretch for centuries. Discovered by explorers and revered by locals, Cueva del Guácharo is both biological sanctuary and geological cathedral, a place where time drips, where sound replaces sight, and where the earth whispers in the dark. Far off the Venezuelan coast, scattered across the sapphire Caribbean, lies Los Roques, an otherworldly archipelago of more than 300 islands, cays, and coral reefs, glowing like sunlit jewels on a canvas of endless sea. From above, the islands seem to float, white sand swirling in turquoise shallows, forming lagoons, atolls, and barrier reefs in geometric perfection. From below, the sea is alive. Rays glide across sunlit coral gardens. Sea turtles drift among seagrass meadows, and schools of bright fish swirl like liquid color around submerged limestone. The main island, Gran Roque, hosts a small village of pastel houses, while most of the archipelago remains untouched. No cars, no roads, just wind, salt, and sea. Sailboats anchor in glassy inlets, and time itself seems to slow beneath the trade winds. Los Roques is more than a marine park. It's a floating cathedral of light and silence. A place where the sky is so clear, you can track the stars by their reflections in the sea. To reach it is to remember what the ocean once looked like. To stand on its shores is to feel the earth exhale. In the far northwest of Venezuela, just inland from the Caribbean shore, lies a landscape that seems impossible. A vast desert of wind-sculpted dunes, rising and falling in golden waves beneath an endless sky. These are the Médanos de Coro, the shifting sands of a tropical Sahara. Formed by coastal winds and ancient sediment, the dunes stretch across more than 90 square kilometers, reaching heights of over 100 feet. They move with time, restless, wind-driven, and constantly redrawn, like Earth writing and erasing its own script. The sun here paints the landscape in shades of ochre and bronze, while shadows ripple across the sand like ocean waves. There are no trees, no trails, just wind, silence, and the slow dance of light across form. Set against a backdrop of blue Caribbean sky and the distant peaks of the Sierra de San Luis, Médanos de Coro feels like a dream pulled in from another continent. It's a final wonder that redefines Venezuela's diversity, proving that this country contains not just jungles and reefs, but mirages made real. In most places, landscapes change slowly. But in Venezuela, they collide. Tepuis rise from the jungle like ancient altars. Rivers disappear into sky-high falls. Forests breathe with clouds. And deserts form beside coral seas. This isn't a country you visit once. It's a country you return to through memory, through color, through silence. Because in Venezuela, nature doesn't whisper, creates. From the stillness of Mucubají to the roar of Angel Falls, from the red stone of Jasper Creek to the blue infinity of Los Roques, Venezuela reminds us that the earth still holds stories not yet told. And if we look closely enough, we can read them in rock, in tide, in shadow, in sound. If this journey moved you, subscribe to Era Trails to explore more wild corners, silent giants, and forgotten masterpieces of our planet. Share this with someone who still believes Earth has nothing left to surprise them, because Venezuela just proved otherwise.